Hey everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to do a beautiful carrot cake slab. Not the regular wussy little 8 or 9 inch round cake, but a cake that's suitable for at least 20 to 30 people. You make this and it's great for parties, get-togethers, whatever. It is an easy recipe. It's got a few ingredients, but basically we do is divide the wet from the dry, combine, bake, and ice. It's that simple. I also think you should know, and it's pretty important in this recipe to note, that this recipe is nut-free. I've eliminated the walnuts or almonds that go in some of the carrot cakes, and that way all of us could enjoy it. Even those of us that have nut allergies, it's perfect. So the first order of business, preheating our oven, 350 degrees Fahrenheit or about 180 degrees Celsius. Get that off and going, and then we're ready to start our baking process. So the first order of business is to sift together our dry ingredients. So for this, I'm using 4 cups of all-purpose flour are going to go in here and slowly start sifting them. 4 teaspoons of baking soda and half a teaspoon of salt, as well as 4 teaspoons of cinnamon. So those will go in there, and just slowly start sifting those. And basically, as you're doing this, it'll help combine everything as well. And please be careful. You don't want to get this stuff all over the place and create what I call the Casper syndrome. So perfect. Our ingredients are mixed. I'm just going to leave these off here to the side. So the next part here is going to be done with our mixer. And for this, I'm going to combine our 4 cups of sugar along with our 1.5 cups of buttermilk will go into our mixer as well. 1.5 cups of veg oil will go in. 4 teaspoons of good quality, or the best quality you can find, vanilla extract will go in, and 6 eggs. Now I'm going to remove the eggs here and start cracking them into our bowl. You don't want any shells in, and to tell you the truth, I'm not that great at breaking eggs without the shells, so just to be extra cautious and on the safe side, I'm just going to break up my eggs into a bowl and make sure there's no shells going in. And there's our last egg, and basically from here I don't see any shells, so in they go as well. Get that off, bring down our beater, lock it into place. Believe me, I've made this mistake before. And on the lowest speed, just get them to kind of combine and incorporate. Now that our ingredients are in our mixer, the wet ingredients that is, we're ready to get them mixing off and get this part of the recipe going. And from here, what we're going to start doing is giving this a couple of seconds while we get together our dry ingredients. And our dry ingredients in this one was our baking soda, flour, and cinnamon. I'm also going to incorporate 2 cups of crushed pineapple with the juice, dry coconut flakes, raisins, and of course, the star of our show, 4 cups of shredded carrot. Now here comes the fun part, is incorporating our flour mixture into our wet ingredients batter. Yeah, pray for me. Actually, let me just slow this down because so far so good. That's looking pretty decent in there. Give it a chance to work through, and actually just move it with your hand slowly. Remember, when it comes to baking, it's a marathon, not a race. So that goes in just like that, nice and easy. I've said it a million times, I'm going to say it one more time. I'm not a baker. And if I can do this, you can do this as well. So let that work itself in there. It's actually looking really awesome, really good. And let that go for a couple of minutes just to get that all mixed up nice and happy. Also, I'm going to tell you, if you choose to go the smaller route and go with the 8 or 9 inch round cake, take this recipe in terms of its measurements. It'll be posted in the video at the start, and just divide them literally in half. If you take them in half, you will have no problem making a smaller version of this cake exactly the way it is. And if you don't have any nut allergies or nobody has that kind of an issue around your circles, you feel free to add the walnuts into this. So my batter is going fantastic now. It's off to the races. My oven is preheated. This is the pan I'm using. Because I'm making this for somebody else and I don't want to like bullshit around with getting pans back and all this kind of stuff. Basically, I'm just using this aluminum foil, which is like a 10 by 14 deep foil pan. And that way you take it, you drop it off, and you forget it. The next part of this is our coconut. And for this, I'm using 2 cups of shredded coconut, which will go in there as well. 2 cups of raisins will go in there as well. Mix those up. And 2 cups of crushed pineapple with the juice. So now that our batter has finished mixing in our mixer, I'm going to very carefully take it and pour it into a large mixing bowl. And what I want to do is combine now the star of the show, which is our carrots. So scrape down very carefully your mixing bowl. Make sure you get all that goodness on the bottom. And let's just take that, move that off to the side here. And the next part of this is taking our 4 cups of carrots and just pouring them in here. There's nothing to this, people, at all. There you go. And slowly and carefully, I wish I had a bigger mixing bowl for this, but hey. And slowly just start folding it in from all sides, and it'll incorporate the carrot with the batter. Now you want to make sure you have this completely mixed up. Believe me when I tell you, there's nothing worse than taking a bite out of a part of the cake that actually doesn't have carrots, especially when it's a carrot cake. What the hell? So there's our cake going in there, and it's actually amazing because this feeds a bunch of people, and other than myself, and I'm in the minority basically, I'm not crazy about carrot cake, but this recipe here I really like. Not because I'm the one making it and showing it, but the point is it's a really pretty decent recipe. So here is our carrot cake batter in our pan. Our oven is going at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or about 180 degrees Celsius. We're gonna drop this in for about an hour, give or take. All right, so it's been about 2.5 hours actually, and I have to tell you right off the bat that I sort of misspoke earlier when I said about the cooking time being about an hour or so. It's actually closer to 2 hours. So let's get that out of the way. The cooking time for this size of carrot cake is actually about an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours rather than just 1 hour or so. So in this case, 350, closer to 2 hours. Whew, got that out of the way. I feel better already. So now, the next part of this, as you can see, it's absolutely perfect. It's turned out magnificent. Couldn't ask for anything better. And again, this cake will feed about 20 people, 20 to 30 decent pieces. So it's awesome for parties, get-togethers, that type of thing. The next part of this, and it's really important, is the cream cheese icing. And this recipe here is absolutely one of my favorites, and I actually should do a video in another time. But anyway, this is so simple to do and it is so delicious. First thing you're gonna need is 2 sticks of butter. Throw that into your mixer. We take 2 250 gram packages of softened cream cheese. Make sure, believe me, make sure that your cream cheese and your butter are softened, or I'm telling you, it's not going to be fun when you try and mix everything together. So drop our paddle down, lock and load. Get this going and start whipping this up. You want this to be light and fluffy and airy, which will take about probably couple 3 minutes. Now, as this thing is mixing, the next ingredient to go in is about a teaspoon or so of vanilla. So that will go in there just like that. And believe me when I tell you, again, turn this down to add any ingredients or you're gonna be like really sorry. All right, so this is done for now. Leave that like this. What we're gonna do is take a little spatula and just scrape it off the sides and just get as much as you can and bring it towards the center. And now is the time when we want to start adding our icing sugar. And 2 cups, we'll add it in. Perfect, just like that. Now, this is all the money right here. When you start this thing, let's lock that up, really slow. Slowly. Believe me when I tell you, it would not be fun any other way. So just let that kind of work in itself in there, and that looks absolutely fantastic. Then after maybe 30 seconds to a minute, you may want to then consider upping the speed just a little bit. All right, so now that our sugar has incorporated into our icing, again, one last final little scrape from the sides. And you want to do this just to make sure you got all the sugar and all that kind of incorporated in there. And which it has, real quick, lock it up too. Give that a couple of turns and our icing should be ready to go. It's ready to go. That icing was so freaking delicious, I can't tell you. All right, so let's get it open. Now, I'm just going to take this and take our spatula actually. Just start spreading the love. This is the prize right here. Look at that. That is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Let me just throw that in there. Oh my God. Holy shit, is that ever good? So now, keeping in mind that I'm not a baker, I'm just going to evenly spread the icing all around. Just do the best you can do. Just remember, this isn't Cake Boss. It just has to look presentable. That's all you have to do. Perfect, just like that. Get it all in there, nice and happy. Like right about now is where they should have like really, like in the background playing like Chariots of Fire music or something. Look at this. That is absolutely perfect. Perfect. All right, there it is. My channel, I get to do this. So good. So freaking good. My friends, that's all there is to this. From start to finish, in like a little bit of effort, a little bit of organization, you've got the most amazing and most delicious carrot cake. I'm not big on carrot cake, like I said earlier, but for this, I promise you, you're gonna love this recipe. I do. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please smash that like button, subscribe, and until next time, feel free to contact me with any questions or comments. I'm Ken, aka The Lazy Gourmet. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.